What you want, when you want it, where you want it. This is The Mesh.
Hey everybody, I'm Amy Chang, a nurse, a mom, and a health coach, and this is Healthy AF, where honesty and humor and heart meet real talk about feeling good again, inside and out. We're cutting through the noise, dropping the guilt, and reminding you getting healthy isn't about perfection. It's about choosing yourself, one loving decision at a time. Let's get into it. Hey everybody, and welcome to another episode of Healthy AF. My name is Amy Chang, and I'm a health coach here with Healthy Life, Health and Wellness Coaching. I'm so glad you're here. We're continuing our motivation series here in March. And for this episode, I'm just going to quick and dirty you guys. I've got the top 5 motivation busters and how we rewire them to become more motivated. So here we go. 1, negative self-talk. I could just stop the podcast right there probably because I think we all could relate. That negative inner critic that just tells you constantly, you can't do it, you're not doing it right, you'll never be able to do it, something's wrong with you, everybody else can do it. How do we bust that up? We build confidence, and we do that using super small wins and extra large celebrations. Now, I've talked about this before, and I always feel like when I approach this, particularly with people who have a fairly developed sense of high expectations for themselves, they think I am whistling Dixie and blowing smoke, and that's not the case. When I tell you we need super small wins and extra large celebrations, it's not so that we can blow out of proportion the amount of success you're having. It's so that we can rewire your thinking. And sometimes when we rewire your thinking, we need to overdo it a little bit. Because if you have a very large critic, very loud in your brain, we need to have an extra large cheerleader just to help those messages settle down and stop. So if you say to me, yeah, I really want to go to the gym. I think I'm going to go 5 days a week and, I'll be there at least 2 hours, then I might say, all right, let's do a super small and get a win. What do you think you could do at home 3 times this week? You think you maybe could do, 2 minutes of exercise? And then we celebrate that. When we start hitting those small goals, our motivation increases, our negative self-talk decreases, and we train our brains to look for positive things. Positive things are motivating. They pull us where we're going. So, first buster, negative self-talk. The rewire for that is super small wins and extra large celebrations. Number 2, perfection. Who else? Do I need to say it louder for the people in the back? I know I struggle with trying to be perfect, perfectionism, and it always stops me from starting. So, what I like to help people do if they want their actions to be perfect, I've got 2 tools that I like to use with them. We shift not into the performance of those actions, like how fast did you run, how long did you run. We shift into, did you run? Did you run? The goal is to run. So when you shift, your goal is like literally just to do it. It's not connected at all with the quality or the quantity or it's just to do it. Literally, you run 5 steps and come to session. I say, did you run? And you say, yes. That's my second tool I like to use with perfectionism is the yes-no tool. When clients come in, especially if they have a lengthy action list, if we're really in it and we're really hitting those actions, and maybe they've got a few too many actions that was okay here at the beginning, but now life is starting to come back in and motivation is waning, and we really need to look at what we're doing. We play the yes-no game. So when they come in, I read them off their actions. Hey, you said you were going to go to the gym this week. Did you go? Yes, no. And they can say yes, or they can say no. And then we go straight to the next one. You said you were going to meditate 4 times this week. Did you do that? Yes, no. And they can say whatever they say. There's 2 reasons why I like this tool. I like this tool because it takes away the well, how did you do it? And did you do it well enough? And it puts in, we're collecting data. That's all we're doing. We're just collecting data. We're not making it mean that you're a good person or that you're working really hard, and good people work hard, so you're a good person. We're not making it mean that, you've martyred yourself to your schedule because you didn't go to the gym or you did go to the gym. We're not making it mean any of that. We're getting it real clear cut so that we can manage it, take the emotion out of it, and just look, did it happen? Yes, no. Okay, great. Then we go back and do a deeper reflection. So if you're struggling with perfectionism, shift that goal to not completing it with, I don't know, all the bells and whistles. You got to minimize that sucker down to just doing whatever it is. Tiny, tiny, tiny. And then play your yes, no. I did it. I didn't do it. I did it. I didn't do it. Not making it mean that you're going to be capable or you're not going to be capable, or, dude, it doesn't mean anything. Third, motivation buster, alcohol. I'll say it again, alcohol. If you're drinking a depressant and you come to me and say, I'm really having a hard time motivating, I'm probably going to say, what do you think about your alcohol intake? I'm going to leave that one right there and let y'all figure that out. Fourth, unrealistic expected results. Unrealistic expected results. This is we're trying to create an action that's going to create a result, but the result that we expect to happen actually is an unrealistic expectation. We're setting ourselves up for a complete disaster here. So what do I like to do? I like to use very deep reflections here. Now, in contrast to battling perfectionism, where we okay, yes, no, yes, no, yes, no. This is where we really get deep. So you might come to session and say, yeah, I said I was going to go to the gym 4 times that week. Did you do it? Yes, no. And then I get to say, what did you notice? So you went to the gym 2 times. What did you notice? And you might say, well, I noticed that I was tired when I left, or I noticed that I could pick up something that I didn't think I could, or I noticed how hard it was for me to get out the door. I was running late. You notice anything. And do a really full reflection on, well, what did you notice? And then I like to say, what happened then? Another question I really love is, what was available to you after the gym that isn't available when you don't go? And then the final question I like to ask is, what else? Doing these deep reflections help us see actually the impact of the actions we're taking. And by the way, not taking actions are still actions. So when you say like, yeah, I'm going to the gym 4 times this week, and the answer is no, and you only went 2 times, you might notice some other things. Like, yeah, my mood was really stinky on Thursday after I skipped my gym. And that's okay too. We're just collecting data. But seeing those things clearly and getting really straight about what are you noticing is a real motivating factor, because we are pulling off the blinders of the excuses and the rationales and the victimhood. We're just pulling them all off and getting real straight about how you're actually living and the actual impact of those actions. Big motivator right there. Last one, motivation buster, isolation. Isolation. You know, when we go to shift our behaviors, whether they're how we relate to people, how we show up for our people, what we eat, what we don't eat, what we eat, don't drink or drink, it's hard to do that in a silo. There is an impact when you shift your behaviors. And when you use that to connect with people, then that connector is your rewiring. When you use your behavioral shifts to isolate and say, well, nobody else has to eat a salad today, but I do, that's not motivating. When you shift your behavior and you say, well, I'm going to the gym 5 days a week. That's my new life. I don't know what you losers are doing, never working out. That's not connecting. And eventually that isolation will not serve you well. I've also seen it in if one spouse decides they're going to change their diet, but they don't sit down and have a conversation to connect with their partner about why it's important to them or what they really want or how their partner might be affected by their dietary change. Then they go right back into isolation and victimhood and martyrdom, and nobody wins and stays motivated in that context. Connection is so important. It really can pull us much further along than we can all by ourselves. And there you have it. There's your top 5 motivation busters and how you can rewire your motivation to keep going and really get what you want in your life. And by the way, when you really get what you want in your life, our whole world is better. And that's why I do the job I have. I'm standing for you to have everything you want in your life, and I know you can do it. I'm here to help if you need. I will see you next time as we wrap up Motivation March on Healthy AF. Thanks for hanging out with me today on Healthy AF. I hope something you heard helps you take one small, kind step toward your healthiest self. If you love this episode, hit subscribe so you never miss a conversation. And if you want more support, head over to myhealthylife.coach to connect with me. Remember, you don't have to do it perfectly. You just have to start choosing you. See you next time.
You've been listening to The Mesh, an online media network of shows and programs ranging from business to arts, sports to entertainment, music to community. All programs are available on the website as well as through iTunes and YouTube. Check us out online at themesh.tv. Discover other network shows and give us feedback on what you just heard.